Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar being hosted by Mahindra University. Today we have a power-packed panel consisting of our Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Yaj Medury, and then we got Dr. Sridhar Acharyulu, our Dean School of Law, available with us. And also we have Professor Manjula Mallepalli, who will also be talking to you all. Firstly, to start with, I would like to request our Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Yaj Medury, to start the proceedings.
Morning, everybody. Delighted to be. Hi.
Good morning, sir. Yeah.
Morning. Delighted to be here to introduce Mahindra University's latest offering, which is our School of Law. Okay, and just to give you a little bit of background about Mahindra University, we became a university in May of 2020. So we are one of India's newest university campuses. In fact, Telangana's first private university. We have been in operation since 2014, okay? As an engineering campus, Mahindra Central, which was a tripartite venture between JNTU Hyderabad, the Central Group of France, and the Mahindra Group. We had an intake capacity of 60 seats in each of the disciplines of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, and electrical electronics. So that's an annual intake of 240. We sort of came up with in 2014, a sort of an educational pedagogy which looked at a blend of basic sciences, engineering, and liberal arts. Because as you know, the French collaboration ensured that there was a lot of focus on the mathematics and the sciences part. When we became a university in 2020, we sort of recaptured and re-envisioned ourselves and came up with a new purpose statement and mission statement. And purpose, you'll see the play of words between for and of a better world. So our purpose is to educate future citizens for and of a better world. So it looks at both the options, both the parameters. Mission, we're looking at multi-skilling our leaders. We're looking at interdisciplinary academic excellence between various disciplines. And finally, trying to bring in the entrepreneurial spirit so that challenges for society can be looked at and solved. That's why. There are close to 800 odd universities. So how are we going to differentiate ourselves from the other ones in the Indian context? So we said, let's sort of create a new agenda for higher education where we reimagine education, that is offer everything which is interdisciplinary, and that's what we're doing right now. We have an engineering school cutting across to management, cutting across to law, education. Courses will be offered across the 3 or 4 schools so that students can pick up and sort of grow on a better this thing. We want to do experiential learning online with self-development skills. We'll address real-world challenges through structured problems. And we are very heavily into enabling industry innovation and startups through our Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And finally, cutting across all these various aspects of our education would be an integrated liberal arts and design program of study. We are approved by the UGC, that is recognized by the UGC. If you check out the UGC website and go onto the site for private universities, and in Telangana, you'll see our name, Mahindra University, okay? We would be seeking formal approval of UGC through an expert visit towards the end of this year. Got stuck because of the pandemic, but we would be submitting our documentation in the next month or 2 so that UGC would then look at a possible visit around November, December to formally approve us and list us. That's why. But right now we're listed on the UGC website. We are located on the Tech Mahindra campus in Bahadurpalli, Hyderabad, and you'd see a master plan view of how the Mahindra University is going to look like in 2023, 2024, with the dormitories around the rear part of the 100-acre site. The College of Engineering, that's the Central College of Engineering, is going to be located in the same place where we're operating right now. And on the left-hand side, you'll see all the new schools coming up, the School of Management, School of Law, School of Media, School of Education, the whole gamut of the new schools which are going to form part of Mahindra University. We're going to have a very excellent, right in the center, student-driven hub with food courts and open-air theater and an auditorium and library, and then the indoor sports complex of the student center, which is going to be centered in between the new schools, okay? So this is going to be residential, It's going to have hostel accommodation for roughly around 7,500 students at full strength. At full strength, we're looking roughly around 9,000 to 10,000 students, which we'll achieve by around 2030. And we're going to be providing hostel accommodation to roughly around 75 to 80% of students. We will have faculty accommodation on the on the bottom right-hand part, and that's why we'll provide faculty accommodation around 200 to 250 faculty to stay on campus. That's why. As I said, since 2014, engineering has been a predominant discipline at Mahindra University. And because of a tie-up, we used to be called Mahindra Eco Central, but now we have renamed our School of Engineering as the Eco Central School of Engineering. We have on offer undergraduate BTech courses, postgraduate MTech, and the PhD program. In BTech, we have courses in mostly related to computing, ranging from artificial intelligence to computer science engineering to computation and mathematics and electronics and computer engineering. And then we have the core engineering subjects of civil, mechanical, engineering and electrical electronics. And this year we're kicking off two very esoteric interdisciplinary subjects. One is mechatronics, application of computing to mechanical engineering, and the second one is nanotechnology, which is an interdisciplinary mix between physics and chemistry. We're offering two MTech programs this year, both of which are filled up now. That's the autonomous electric vehicles and application of computing to structural engineering. The PhD program started off last year. As of today, we have 40 PhD scholars on campus. And this year, we're looking at adding on roughly around 40 to 50 more. We'll try and achieve the three-figure mark of 100 PhD scholars in Mahindra University when we reopen in August, September next month. One of our strengths has been our internship program and our placements across companies drawn from India and overseas. We have roughly 1/3 of our graduates going abroad for higher studies, and they're able to get into some of the top campuses across the world, ranging from Columbia University to MIT to Stanford to University of California, Berkeley, Carnegie Mellon. In the US, in the UK, there is Imperial College London. In France, there is the Central Group. And then, of course, there's the one of the best aero universities in Toulouse. We're coming down to Japan, where we have students based out, and of course in Singapore at NUS, NTU, etc. That's right. Okay. Companies which have recruited engineering graduates at Mahindra University range from Amazon to Dell to Cisco to Ernst & Young to L&T to TCS. You name them, they sort of come and pick up our students because our selection criteria for students has been very intense, very rigorous, so that we are able to get some qualitative students into a campus supported by quality faculty. Just gives you a sort of a viewpoint of all the logos of various companies which have tapped into Mahindra University graduates. Average CTC is in the range of 7.5 lakhs per annum, the highest being 45 lakhs per annum offered by a Japanese company, Ground Incorporated, where we sent two students 2 years back. One of our new offerings this year, besides the School of Law, is the School of Management. I'm not going to talk much about School of Law because Professor Sridhar is out here, our new dean. He would take that forward. In the School of Management, we have tied up with Cornell SC Johnson College of Business as our academic partner, and we're offering 3 new undergraduate programs this year. One is a BA in Economics and Finance, which is a maths quant-oriented program. Second one is a BBA in Computational Business Analytics, which is again maths oriented and looks at applying computer science to business analysis, business data analytics programs. And finally, we have picked up a very, very unique program in digital technologies, which looks at the tech side of the digital marketing aspect. And this is a non-maths requirement program. So we're taking in 30 students each to have a total intake of 90 students for a starting of 1st September 2021. Okay, I will now hand over to our new Dean of the School of Law, Professor Sridhar Acharyulu. He is no stranger to legal education, having been a professor at Nalsar. He was also between 2013 to 2018, the Central Information Commissioner to the Government of India. After finishing his 5-year term as CIC, He then joined up at Bennett University, where I was the Vice-Chancellor then. And as a professor of law, he became dean for a certain period of time. And I'm very delighted and happy that when we decided to start the law school at Mahindra University, we were able to attract Professor Sridhar to be the first founding dean of this school. Sridhar, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Yajulu, our Vice Chancellor. He has explained you the broad area of operation of the prestigious Mahindra University, the first ever private university in Telangana, the new state that was carved out in 2014. And with Nalsar University and several other universities around, Hyderabad is a hub of very good legal education. And this is a great addition to it. And with the support of various other faculties around within Mahindra University, we offer a better scope for interdisciplinary studies with law. The legal education, I need not explain you the importance of legal education. If you have not decided law as career, and the Mahindra University will give a promising start for your option to take a decision to opt for legal education, one of the most important careers of the world. Today, the law is a necessary component of every part of the life, social life, governance mechanism, corporate governance. And you take anything, you just now you have seen how many corporates, how many industrial units, industries have been associated with the educational institutions. And we are supposed to cater to the needs of industry, society, and various institutions. Similarly, the legal education is also connected with industry, the courts around the Supreme Court and High Courts and various other subordinate courts. And we can be part of several law firms. And then we can also get into the various kinds of professions through law. For civil services examinations, law is one of the most exciting paper. And that law, if you want to be equipped with the necessary knowledge to crack the law paper of civil services examination, BA LLB will be the right course, and the Mahindra University School of Law will be the right place. So we are aiming at achieving eminence and prominence. The research is a corollary to the legal education. In my view, the classroom teaching and the doubts that emerge in the classroom where legal education happens is the source of research, is the basis of research. So education and research go hand in hand. We are also planning to recruit these PhD scholars on a tough selection scale, and we will have legal research scholars very soon, perhaps next year. Then the idea, what is the idea? What is the idea of being a lawyer? What is the idea of making lawyers? What is the idea of spreading legal education? It is to build and bring just a society. Justice. We are starved of justice. We need justice. And how do we get the justice? And justice is the only relief that you can give to the people who are suffering from on various fronts. So our aim is to build a just society. Okay. Then why students are an important component? Because if we empower them, if they emancipate, and they can make others empowered, informed, vibrant, dynamic, and they help the society to prosper in a just manner. So we need future-ready skilled lawyers. Lawyering is an important, essential, significant component. We can't think of an issue without a lawyer being consulted and without making it litigation-proof, challenge-proof. How do we make it challenge-proof? Unless you have complete knowledge of law in relation with your activity. Even if it is a family, you are supposed to know the basic rights of the people, the human beings, and that will pave a way of peaceful, just family, peaceful, just running institution, and then well-maintained corporations, and then well-governed institutions. That is possible only when you are having future-ready skilled lawyers, and we are committed to produce future-ready skilled lawyers who are adept in addressing all kinds of legal challenges. The law itself is a challenge. And when a legal challenge confronts you, you must be in a position to tackle it. Then, of course, the whole purpose of constitutional governance is to build an inclusive society, sustainable development, and then create a very, very prosperous future looking society, and which can also rely on the past foundations and look to future with wonderful self-confidence. Now, these are the components of the legal education. You know what will happen in general legal education mechanism, and then how is that we have to look to the new world of legal education. You're lecturing, we can't do away with lecturing. One of the best method of teaching is interpersonal communication. In spite of your various technological improvements, we teach better, we learn better when a living human being talks about lively subject and we attentively listen to it. Tell me, what is the alternative to this? There's nothing that you can replace this. So in addition to lecturing and Socratic method of teaching, we have to think of other things. So students are given lectures, then they will be supplemented by tutorials. Tutorial means having a small component of students community before me. A lecturer like me will be interacting with them to tackle the doubts which he could not raise in a general classroom. So that is tutorial. And then we can also lay an additional emphasis on the legal principles which were dealt in the general classroom. The dominant method I told you, as always, is legal teaching, general teaching. And then we also have to analyze the various statutes that are coming up. Now, we are run by statutes, we are governed by statutes, and we should know how to understand the statutes. Then we have to connect the law to business, to market, and we have to, the whole world is in a global scale. We are talking about the universal commonness of certain activities. So where the globalization demands new global skills and common laws that are available all over the world, the general principles of liability are the same, one and the same. For example, murder is a murder, whichever is the country it is. A crime of murder is a murder, and you have to tackle the same with the similar strategies that world tackles it. So we are supposed to connect to global, global laws also. And then we have to build a well-rounded professional with networking and interpersonal skills, interacting with a highly educated and tech-savvy workforce, MNCs, clients, various kinds of clients, global workforce, and high net worth individuals. How do we do that? We bring in experts onto the campus so that they share their experience with you. Then we have seen greatest changes in the entire globe, unprecedented changes, disruptive technologies. They change the legal landscape altogether. The privacy is threatened by the revolutionary improvement in the technology. Nobody knows how many times you are photographed, how many times your voice is being recorded, and how many places your views are being observed. We do not know. And you have heard the impact of Pegasus on the politics of this country. So the science and technology is taking over every other field, and we are supposed to match with our legal mechanism, and that's what we are supposed to do, and we're going to do that. So online business and its impact on law. How do online taxation? If Amazon, you purchase something through Amazon, are you avoiding sales tax? Are you depriving the nation of its revenue, which is legitimately expected to arise out of the transactions like sale and transfer? How do you do that? Then artificial intelligence and machine intelligence is coming, and we are supposed to tackle the new challenges that are posed by these technological developments. That we have greatest kinds of legal opportunities to explore, to research, and to use them in our day-to-day life. Then why should we join? You may ask, Mahindra University, with its established units of technological educational institutions and promising units, promising colleges of management, media, liberal arts. We are well equipped to have interdisciplinary studies. So we have, because of the management, because of the organizers and coordinators of the university or the industry people, we have a great link with industry that will go a big way in improvement of our learning. Our learning is not confined to academics. It extends to industry, it extends to society, it extends to our peripheries, people around and their problems, their legal issues. So then we have just now completed 2 days of marathon interviews to take an ample number of experienced faculty members from rich experience, with rich experience and, from reputed institutions. And I'm happy that most of the law school graduates, postgraduates arising, emanating out of the reputed institutions have approached us, and we could attract their CVs. And then we had a expert committee of selections, and we have completed the process, and very soon we will have a very good very good batch of faculty members. They can be of great guidance to you. They can be mentors, they can be teachers, they can be guides, philosophers, legal philosophers. So we deal with the essential components of contemporary curriculum as mandated by Bar Council of India. Because of our contacts, because of our relations with global institutions, I think we can also generate a global edge for you to come and develop. Then internships, is one of the very, very significant components of learning. The moot courts, it will bring you nearer to the courts, not courts, but almost like courts. Then you have mock trials. In moot court, it is based on arguments, contentions, legal expositions, interpretations. But whereas a trial happens in trial court, and we have a component of mock trial also. And apart from these two important learning tools, we also are thinking of a better legal aid clinics, and we take live issues and try to provide dynamic solutions. So that is legal aid clinic. And then interdisciplinary learning, I already told you there is a ecosystem available for us to get into various faculties because they are around us. That is the advantage of a multi-faculty university. Instead of confining ourselves to single department universities, we are supposed to emerge into a place where you have a possibility of dealing with or linking with or associated with or doing interdisciplinary studies with other disciplines. So that is possible in Mahindra University. My vibrant startup ecosystem, that's what I just now explained, to support and nurture entrepreneurs. State-of-the-art learning infrastructure. We have wonderful classrooms, technological support. We have people around, technological experts are around, and we can simply engage them in improvement of our technological learning. Then advisors from constitutional courts. Now, those who have wonderful experience as justices in the courts of law. The court is a laboratory where your right is tested, lawyer's talent is tested, the interpretative understanding of the principles of liability are tested, and the approach of judge, the process adopted by the judge, his knowledge, his experience also counts. And ultimately, strength of your case, merit of your case will be important component of your victory, your justice achievement. So those who are experienced in constitutional courts, those who have established their credentials in national law schools, wish we have already included them to advise us, and we are benefited. We will be enriched with their experience sharing. And similarly, we have to take contemporary legal challenges with all required academic rigor, enhancing intellectual abilities. So we have to nurture legal professionals with the necessary skills in both substantive laws and procedural laws. You must be already knowing what is substantive law, it's fundamental law. The procedural law, the name itself explains you. Then you must have a critical thinking. Are we right in having this law? Can we implement it? And what are the principles behind it? Is it in tune with the constitutional scheme? So these are all critical thinkings and analytical aptitudes we are supposed to learn on the School of Law. Then educational methods, then BCA, Bar Council of India norms. So we have to go with that basic common structure of legal education and then add something new to it, and that we can do it. We have to blend Indian and international legal project. See, the law is not confined to, justice is not confined to one jurisdiction, one country. Jurisprudence is beyond jurisdiction. So we have to learn from several jurisdictions, and we have to improve upon, and we have to establish a common society. That is the goal of globalization. Then, there are two big, the big points to be connected. One is classroom, the other is courtroom. You cannot straight away launch yourself into courtroom without having a perfect understanding and perfect grounding in classroom. And classroom also doesn't take you straight away to the courtroom. And in between, you have to cross several stages of learning. That is conferences. One method is conferences. And in conference, what happens? People come with preparation on focused topics, and they mix it with their experience, their thinking, and then they discuss, they put before the propositions, new angles. You hear it to learn what is happening in addition to what you learned. So that is the advantage of attending the conferences. English lab and legal English. See, to know better English is necessary to understand law. And a mere knowledge of law is not enough to understand the law. You should have a legalese English. So what is that legalese English? The legal language, English component in the first couple of years, first couple of semesters will enrich you and prepare you, equip you to understand the legalese. That is what happens in English laboratory. And then legal aid clinics, applying the knowledge of law, communication skills to real problem. That is what happens in legal aid clinics. And then I already told you the interdisciplinary, intradisciplinary studies within the college in interaction with other components, other faculties of the university, and then with other universities and industrial surroundings and industrial atmosphere in which we are living, are learning, will offer a conducive atmosphere for understanding what we are studying in classroom. And that will help you to take yourself a long step covering the long gap between classroom and courtroom. Then we have national and international moot court competitions around. We also think of starting one such competition from our university. With the support of the first batch students, I think we can launch it effectively. Then client negotiation. The basics of litigation, and the preparation for courtroom experience depends on how you negotiate with client, how you talk to client, how do you understand the client, because client is not an expert, except that he knows his problem. He doesn't know anything about law and other things. So you do not know anything about the problem, but you know the law. But without understanding the problem, how do you apply the law? So client negotiation helps you in communicating with the client and extracting complete information with the client, and then preparing yourself and equipping yourself for facing the legal challenge in the courtroom. So the travel between classroom and courtroom is what is envisaged by the Law School of Mahindra University. Then how we are supposed to teach. What is the mechanism? What is the methodology? The legal education, what is the benchmark? And how the young employable professionals are created from the classroom of Mahindra Law School. That is our focus, and we all together progress. Then we will encourage students form committees to focus on, some students are very much interested in moot courts. Some are good at debate. Some have some literary flavor. Some are so having so great initiative that they can pierce into the society and offer the legal aid. And then journal, journal is a forum where you can express your ideas after understanding, analyzing various issues. And then cultural activities. See, nothing is foreign to law. Nothing is unconnected to law. History is connected to law, and everything is connected to law, and we can explore all those connections. Then the wheel trips to NGOs. See, non-government organizations active in establishing, encouraging, and enforcing the rights. They are very good. In a jail, where what is happening after punishment, then interaction with the different stakeholders of social governance, constitutional governance. And we can also devise our own projects, research projects, and then teachers will be helping the students. And we have mentor-mentee program. That means some of the students will be chosen and attached to a mentor, a professor or a teacher, and then he will be available for interaction, clarification of general doubts, and general guidance that can be offered from the mentors. Then internships, the real learning based on what you have understood in classroom can happen in internship. The interregnum between 2 semesters will offer a beautiful period. So of course, you have to go back and meet your parents and have some your return to home atmosphere. Apart from that, have a few days with them and then go ahead with learning with practical experience. And how does it happen? So you get associated with some NGO, some lawyer, some judge, and then understand how do they work, how the challenges they face, how do they face the challenges. So that will be the part of internship. Placement, during the education, we consider placement as learning placement. The learning placements and learning internships will take you easily, comfortably to the earning placements and earning internships. So that is the idea. Then, see, people should think and then express. And before thinking and expressing, they should learn. So your learning is for thinking, and your thinking is for expression, and your expression is for just society, and your just society is your duty as a member of this society. Your social obligation of an educated person is this: you are privileged to be educated, and if you are chosen Mahindra University, you are privileged to study in Mahindra University, and that privilege, very few has chance of getting into. So help the others who could not do this. So further, you'll be prepared here. Yeah, these are the 2 programs. I think my colleague, Professor Manjula Rani, will offer details of our course, and I hand over mic to my colleague, Dr. Manjula Rani, Professor, Mahindra University School of Law.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That was wonderful insights which has been given by you for the attendees here, present here. So before I get into the details of the course curriculum, I would request all the participants to post their queries in the Q&A box, and we'll be happy to address all your concerns. So here at Mahindra, we have designed we are offering 2 integrated programs. One is BBA LLB and another is BA LLB honors program. So these are all, why do we call it as integrated? We are giving dual degree. It's a dual degree program wherein a student will get a BBA degree and also LLB degree. So if a student undertakes these, BBA, LLB a separate program and LLB as a separate program, it might, take 6 years of period. But here in the integrated program, it only consumes your 5 years. So a student will be at an advantage if they go for this integrated program. All right. So yeah, so here all the law schools, including Mahindra University, we strictly follow the BCI rules, and BCI has suggested the course, how it has to be designed and how it has to be offered to the law students. So in the 5-year integrated law program, including BBA and BA, the course goes like this. First degree papers, they are 12. Core law papers, they are 26. Clinical law papers, they are 4. Law electives, because this is an honors program, we have these law electives, or we can also say as honors papers, they are 8 in number. And interdisciplinary papers, they are 4 in number. And open elective and value addition courses are additional to what Bar Council of India has suggested. So let us see what does it mean. And first degree papers. So if you all can look at the screen, I mean, this is a brief depiction of the courses. This is not the holistic, subjects which are offered in this program. Just to give a brief idea about what are first degree papers, what are core law subjects in both the streams, in arts and the in BA stream and BBA stream. So when it comes to arts, you all are aware this is a component. This is an area where you will be studying on the social sciences subjects, or you'll be gaining experience or gaining insights on the social sciences subjects. In the arts stream, student is introduced to sociology, history, political science. And here for both the streams, BA and BBA, English is a common paper, economics is a common paper. Besides, your law core papers are all same. So first degree papers for arts students, they are 12 papers, and also for management students, they are 12 papers. So when it comes to BA, what does it constitute? 12 paper includes sociology in 3 levels, sociology 1, 2, 3, political science at 3 levels, 1, 2, 3, history at different levels, 1, 2, 3, and English, and so on and so forth. And when it comes to BBA in management papers, we all know management includes the papers which starts from principles of management, fundamentals of management. That is how we introduce the subjects to the students. So that is part of the BBA curriculum. And next it goes on like this: marketing management, human resource management, strategic management, business accounting, financial management, and corporate finance. So here the cutting edge at Mahindra, let me emphasize on this point. We don't teach these subjects in the purest form or as it is. We don't teach sociology in its actual form. In turn, what we do is we try to integrate the sociology with law, how law is relevant, because students need to connect this subject, the art subject, the social science subject, with the law. Otherwise, they feel this disconnected. Why am I studying this sociology? Why am I studying this political science? Because I want to become a lawyer. So they might have some disconnect, or students might feel this is not relevant. So here we have designed the pedagogy or a curriculum, this course syllabus, in such a way that you find the relevance of these individual subjects in these streams in the area of law, how you can use this education of social sciences to make yourself a better legal professional. All right, so here we have very integrated approach which is being taken through our course curriculum and pedagogy, including the, even if you take economics as a subject, which is taught for both the streams, for the BA stream and also BBA stream, economics is taught in the purest form, like fundamentals of economics, models of economic models, macroeconomics, microeconomics. Besides that, you'll be surprised to know there's a paper on law and economics, how economics is relevant in evolution of law and how law impacts the economic structure. So this is how we have designed the course integrated so that it adds value to the learning. It adds value to the students' learning proposition. And coming to management papers as well, marketing management is not taught in its purest form. We teach what is marketing management and what is all it takes to understand marketing management. Yes, the course has those components as well. And it simultaneously, student will be introduced to the legal aspects of marketing. I mean, this is one such kind of a curriculum which no other university offers. BBA means they'll teach you what is marketing management, 4 P's of marketing, but nobody touches upon the specifics of legal aspects of marketing when it comes to advertisement. When you come, 4 P's of marketing, many of you might know: product, pricing, placement, promotion. How law impacts these functional areas is also taught to the student. What are the product liabilities? What are the liabilities of the manufacturer? What are the liabilities of advertiser? And how your advertisement has to be designed? What are the rules and regulations which has to be followed? The food safety regulations. So all of these components will be taught along with the pure marketing management subject. So it is an integrated approach what we adopt at Mahindra, which I can say that no other curriculum has designed in such a way. Next is human resource management. Yes, human resource management, again, management includes all the functions of management. Besides that, how the labor laws, how employment related laws are impacted in the human resource management. That's being taught here. That's how the course has been designed. And strategic management, and you talk about international business management. What is the legal, global regulatory regime? what are the international financial laws talks about, what is international investment laws talks about. All of these will be taught in the international business management. So this is how we have designed an integrated approach to make your learning complete. So this is a brief about your arts papers, BA papers and the BBA papers. And coming to the core law papers, these are very few we have mentioned here on the slide. In the first semester, the semester begins with the courses on law of torts, legal methods. And as you progress to second semester, the student will be introduced to the subject of contract law, company law, property law, and so on and so forth as the progress depending upon their understanding, because there is always a connect between first semester learning to the second semester. We cannot design the courses haphazardly. So as they progress, depending on the learning in the first semester or earlier semester to this succeeding semester will be based on the preceding semester. That is how we have designed the course, so that student will not be at confused state. So that is how we have designed the curriculum. So these are few of the core law papers which a student has to student will be introduced to these subjects over a period of 5 years, overall in 10 semesters. So, and yeah. Here, if you refer to the earlier slide where I have told 12 first degree papers, 20 core law papers, then we have 4 clinical law papers. Clinical law papers, these are the papers where a student has to actually participate in them and learn. Whatever has been taught in the class, he has to actually apply in those clinics. So clinic is not medical clinics, but we here in law program also. Clinical means where a student is exposed to the practical aspects. As Sridhar sir has already mentioned, like learning is incomplete without undertaking the internships, without participating in the moot court competitions and participating in the conferences and seminars, etc. So the Bar Council of India has mandatorily suggested a student has to go through these clinical law papers. So in that, first and foremost, moot court and internships. And let me also tell you, the marks are allotted for these papers as well. So moot court, this is a process where a student is introduced to the moot court skills. How a student can make themselves a better mooter, how they have to research, how they have to contest, how they have to litigate, how to draft. So all of these skills are taught in these moot court sessions. And internships, let me tell you, law is the only program which has an opportunity to do 10 internships after every semester. End of the semester, a particular period is demarcated for internship. The students are free to go and take their internships anywhere they feel like. So, but being in the first semester, it is always suggested that the student should go and take their internships in the civil society organizations, NGOs, or charitable organizations. For example, talk about Greenpeace or Amnesty International or PETA or some human rights organizations or animal activists. Somebody might also go for Worldwide Federation, WWF. There's a preservation of forests, preservation of biodiversity. There are many international NGOs or national NGOs also where students can go and do their internships. We encourage the first semester students to take up these internships in these organizations, so that they're very close to the societal issues. What is happening with regards to child rights? What is happening with regards to the people who are in distress, or animal rights, or pollution? So that is where young students will understand, they get connected with the society, because we know law is applied in the society, and law is the one where which is enacted to address the societal issues. Until and unless you know the societal issues, you cannot frame the law, you cannot enact you cannot enact a law, and you cannot apply. So this is how a student is introduced to understand the societal issues through their formative stages of their learning, to these CSOs, NGOs, charitable organizations, climate protection organization, etc. So after first couple of semesters, once they understand the societal issues, and by then they progress, when they progress to higher semesters like third and fourth, they'll also be equipped with some of the legal subjects as well, law subjects, law related like contracts and family law, etc. That time they can always go and join some practicing lawyers or law firms or judges' chambers as clerks, etc., etc. So yes, here I would like to make a point that BCI has suggested only 20 weeks of internship in this 5 years of your law program. Just 20 weeks, which means every year 4 weeks is mandatory, but nobody bars you from undertaking more internships. Because I mean, the reason why a student has to take more internship is that is where they identify their strengths and weaknesses, which subject suits them the most. Many a times it is seen. Practicing students who practice, the professionals who get into practice, sometimes it might not match with your own personality. You're not good at some laws, or you're not comfortable with practicing in some areas. So through these internship, you can identify your own potential. You can identify your own area of interest, area of choice. You can make that, very informed choice, where you don't lose anything, because you're still you're in your 5-year law program. So one semester, if you identify you're good at criminal law, you can pursue your criminal law internships in coming semesters as well. So do not ever, take a second thought about not to do an internship, because mandatory BCI says only 20 weeks. Why should I do more? That's the biggest mistake where students commit. So you have to, and end of the 5 years law program, on your resume, if you see, you can always mention that I have done an internship in the CSO, and I have done an internship in this organization. I have done internship with this practicing lawyer, senior lawyer, or public prosecutor. You can just judges' chambers, etc., etc. You can always mention that, and that will add value to your curriculum. So we encourage the students to undertake these internship programs. And second, another clinical law papers is alternate dispute resolution. Alternate dispute resolution, now it is catching up in the commercial world. Most of the commercial, or the corporates, or business dealings, or the people running the corporate houses and the commercial contracts, they are not in favor of going to normal judicial processes to resolve any disputes or the issues. Reason being, it's time consuming. So in the commercial arena, time consuming means it is directly related to the finances. So they're all resorting to alternate dispute resolution. So in this clinical paper at Mahindra, we will be introducing the students on how to conduct these alternate dispute resolution processes. We teach the student on the various skills and how they can become a very good arbitrator. So we conduct workshops. We make students to participate to resolve the disputes in a simulation form. So here we invite many of the professionals and very popular personalities in this area who are already into this alternate dispute resolution system as arbitrators. So this alternate dispute resolution is not confined to one area. It can find its place in every sphere of commercial transactions. So this is also one such area where you can find a bigger employment opportunity. And another clinical law paper is drafting, pleading, and conveyance. So a good lawyer need to know a good drafting. So those drafting skills, how it has to be drafted, what are the components, what are the nitty-gritties of drafting, that will be taught. Hands-on experience will be given to the student by organizing workshops, teaching them skills, how to draft good documents. And besides that, the last one clinical paper is the professional ethics and professional accounting system. It is like an icing on a cake. You might prepare a very good cake, but if you don't decorate it with nice icing, so then the cake loses its value. Similarly, if a lawyer, when we are, sending a student as a law professional, but that professional has not been taught what is to be done to be a good, to follow ethics. That's very important. What I mean to say is we need to impart the importance of being ethical in the legal practice is very important. That will be taught, that will be told with many exercises and simulation exercises and other role plays, etc., etc. So these are the clinical law papers which will be taught over a period of time in these 5 years. All right. So the programs, as I mentioned, Sridhar sir has mentioned client negotiations. You need to understand as a lawyer how to negotiate, how to unearth, how to elicit the information from your clients, because many a times clients withhold the information. So there's a saying that you should not hide the information from the doctors. If you really want to get treated well, you have to disclose everything what you're going through. Similarly, to fight your case successfully, the client has to share full information, transparent. So client negotiation is an art. It's a skill which has to be developed over a period of time, how to elicit information without hurting the client sentiment, also sometimes you have to be very smart. Client should not know that you're trying to get that information. Those kind of skills will be taught, and we conduct time-to-time client negotiation activities in the school. All right. Similarly, as mentioned, English labs, legal English, these are the labs where student will be introduced to different exercises. English expert will be teaching you, will be supervising and guiding you how to use your language in a better way. And legal language, day in and day out as a lawyer, you'll be encountering with these legal maxims, how they have to be understood, what is their importance, all these things will be taught. And also, sir has mentioned that a student has to participate in conferences and seminars. Yes, we do at Mahindra organize the conferences and seminars, national and international, wherein all the participants will get to know what is happening in that particular area. They'll get a perspective about that particular area of conference which is being hosted. And also moot court competitions will be held, which will have a national and international dimension. And yes, symposiums will also be organized. And let me tell you, this is not all organized by the teachers or the management. It is the student-driven programs. Everywhere, it is the students who will lead all these programs. And here, it is very important to tell you a point that we will also constitute committees, student committees, for various functions like moot court committee, library committee, journal committee, conferences, literature and debate competitions, and MUN. So on. Many committees will be constituted, and they're all handled by the students themselves. So whatever I'm mentioning these programs, it is not from the university side, it is driven. Yes, we are there to handhold and guide you, but it's the students who have to take it forward. All right, lecture series, like we have very legal luminaries. We invite judges, practicing judges, sitting judges, and advocate practitioners and people from academia. So we invite those kind of personalities so that we will get as value add in our day-to-day learning. So these are the few programs which will be supported and encouraged or offered by the Mahindra University. Yes, we are also in the process of having MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding, with various institutions like national law universities, and research centers, policy research centers, law firms, international universities, professional bodies, NGOs, CSOs, so that the learning is complete. We are not leaving any sphere untouched. We wanted to have collaborations with all of these learning centers so that our students will be exposed to different dimensions of, different facets of legal field. And also we are planning for national and international linkages, as VC sir has mentioned, with regards to the management school and the engineering school. We will also, in time to come, we'll have these kind of MOUs with all these organizations. Yes, associations, collaborations with various law firms and other institutions. And exchange programs are also in the process. Like our students can go to other universities on exchange program. That's still in work in progress, not yet been finalized. And also there might also be a possibility that if you study one semester abroad, or those semester credit will be being given in your regular curriculum at Mahindra. So these are all still work in progress. As and when we move on to move on in the coming months, we'll try to finalize these aspects as well. All right. So yeah, placement opportunities. Yes, sky is the limit. Let me tell you, this is the only profession I feel, because I being a lawyer, I've been an academician for quite some time. I find there's no dearth of jobs. You can practice law anywhere. As I mentioned, sky is the limit. Even the sky has a law, air and space law. You have many laws which are coming up, which regulates our space activities. So sky is the limit, I can say, and it's omnipresent. It is present everywhere, like God. You see, you can't locate any area where there's no law is applicable. There's nothing such area where we can say that in this area there's no law which is applicable. So placement opportunities are umpteen. You can be your own, can create your own employment. You can be your own boss and give employment to others by starting your own law firm, recruiting the intern, recruiting your recruiting the fresh law graduates, giving them internships. You can be your own boss. And I don't find this is possible in any other area. Doctors, yes, they might start their own practice, but they have to practice in their own niche area. But if you are a lawyer, I'm telling you, there are umpteen opportunities. You can be an academician, you can be a law practitioner, you can go into legal services, civil, UPSC, so many things. You can be your, social activist. You can become a you can start your own NGOs and many areas. You can become a corporate advisor. You can start a legal syndicate, or you can start your overseas operations. Many things. You can become a patent practitioner, patent agent, filing of patents. So many things. There's no dearth of opportunities when you study law or you acquire a degree on law. So this is it with regards to the placement opportunities. So this is the infrastructure what we have, state of the art. I must say, beautiful campus. I'm really impressed, highly impressed. I recently joined, but I'm already had a connect with the campus. It's beautiful, and there's no I can say there's state of art. There's nothing I can say about the which is less. I can say there's some lacuna in this infrastructure. It's impossible for me to say that. It's beautifully designed, structured campus with state-of-the-art facilities. You can look at the pictures, indoor games, your outdoor games, everything is in place, and excellent environment, pollution-free, and sprawling area where students can really connect with the nature, and they can also have a sort of very peaceful and serene atmosphere, besides having a infrastructure of library, learning resources are excellent. We have online databases and the book, the print form as well. Excellent resources. I can vouch for it. Yeah, this is very brief about our program at Mahindra University. Thank you everyone. So Mr. Rakesh will take over from here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, VC sir and Dean sir as well. My name is Rakesh. I take care of admissions and marketing for Mahindra University. Let me quickly run you through the admission process and eligibility criteria. Firstly, the basic requirement for this program is the student needs to have 60% in their 12th standard, 60% from or equivalent grade from any of the approved boards. So that's a basic requirement. Post which, there are 3 routes of admission into the university. One is the CLAT examination. The second one is the LSAT score. The third one is the Mahindra University Law Entrance Test. Now the application forms are available online. So students who already have an LSAT score, we request them to apply online. And if the students, once the CLAT results are out, students who have taken it last week. So once the results are out, you can always go ahead and upload your update your marks in the application portal. If you're not taking any of these examinations, which is CLAT or LSAT, we are also coming out with our own test, Mahindra University Law Entrance Test. It is going to get conducted on 8th August. It is going to be an remote online proctored test. You can take the test from the convenience of your home. So the last day to register for this test is 4th August. So students who would want to opt for it, you need to apply to the university. You'll get a registration link, and subsequently you need to opt for this test. And then once the test is conducted, we would announce the results. Now, the basic first step for you to, as I indicated earlier, the first step which an applicant needs to do is first fill in your application. You need to go to the Mahindra University website, fill up your application, and subsequently update your scores, the 10th scores, 11th scores, 12th scores, whatever is available in hand, and then update your entrance examination scores, which is either CLAT or LSAT or Mahindra University's law entrance test score. Once you update that, once you meet any of the eligibility criteria, you would get an admission offer from us. It will be an online admission offer, which will mail across to you. Afterwards, you'll have to block your seat by paying the initial fee of 1.5 lakh, which is the first semester fees. Once you pay the first semester 1.5 lakh fees, your seat would be blocked. I'll also run you through the fee structure. The academic fees is 3 lakhs per annum. Hostel and mess charges is 2 lakhs per annum. Hostel stay is not mandatory. There are day scholar options available. If someone would want to stay on campus, we've got hostel facilities available. If not, you always have, you can always stay on campus and do this particular program. Scholarships, we are looking at giving scholarships to 10% of the students of each program. We are looking at an intake of about 60 students per stream. So 60 students in BLLB program and 60 students from the BBLLB program. And we're looking at awarding, the 10% comes to about 6 students. So we're looking at awarding scholarship to the value of 25% of the academic fees. So effectively, it comes to around 75,000 would be the scholarship which the students can look forward to. And this would primarily be on the basis your CLAT or LSAT or the Mahindra University Law Entrance Test score. So this is the parameters we look at. This is for the first year. For the subsequent year, which is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th years, it will depend on your preceding academic year's performance. So basically, your performance in the first year will be considered for your scholarship for the second year, and so on and so forth. So that's the simple, the scholarship process we have. It's a merit-based scholarship system we have, and we are open. The campuses are open, so students can come onto the campus, talk to us, interact with the faculty members, deans, and all. If you have any queries, you can always reach out to us. We're given our email ID admissions@mahindrauniversity.edu.in. I've given you a couple of contact details. The first one is mine, 9001888919, and the other one is of my colleague, Mr. Zubair Khan. He'll also be there. You can reach out to one of us on any query you would have on the admission process. Thank you all.
Thank you.
So this, for the audience, the session also will be put up on our YouTube handle shortly. So if you want to refer, you can always go back to this recording online. Thank you all. Thanks for joining in.